Good morning. You're listening to Kingston Community Radio, airing on FM 92.5 and AM 920 WGHQ in Kingston, New York. This programming is brought to you by our listeners and corporate underwriters who are interested in presenting local community radio. The opinions expressed on this program do not represent those of Pamel Broadcasting or Kingston Community Radio. Listeners are encouraged to send in $10 per month to help bring this program to you and mail your contributions to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402. For more information or to donate online, visit our website at mykcr.org. Good morning, this is Dan Gatis, and thank you for sharing the morning with us, being with us on this terrific Tuesday, March 22nd. Starts out at 34 degrees here in uptown Kingston, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Shirley Stabe from Kingston, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
You're back. We're back. And we're listening to Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. KCR's talk radio, so remember the number, 331-9255, when you have a question or comment. And big news, Kingston Community Radio and Elks Lodge 550 team up for breakfast. A breakfast live remote Tuesday, March 29th from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. at Kingston Elks Lodge, 143 Hurley Avenue, Kingston, New York. And cost us $10 for a nice breakfast spread, including eggs, pancakes, bacon, sausage, coffee, and juice. And Kingston Community Radio will be broadcasting live, so come and experience the show with us. That morning, with Cameron Rylance and Nina Postchapak, we'll be having breakfast and doing the show right there. From that location. So come join us on the 29th of March from 7 to 9 a.m. The Kingston Elks Lodge, 143 Hurley Avenue. All are welcome and should be a great time. And let's get to the on-air studio with Nina Postchapak and Cameron Rylance. Welcome, folks.
Good morning. I should say buongiorno.
Oh, he's back from the slopes of Italy.
Yes.
This is Nina Postchapak and
Cameron Rylance.
And we're here on Terrific Tuesday.
You know
so we need to hear about your trip.
All right, but before I forget, funny thing. I've dropped off my big leaf blower from work for service at Herzog's, the back where they fix the power equipment. And I'm talking, they go, oh, hey, how are you? Oh, describing the problem. He's like, okay, gets one of the tags out. What's your name? Cameron. What's your phone number? 389-957. He looks at me funny. He goes, what's your last name? I said, Rylance. He goes, I thought so. I recognize your voice from the radio. So
that's
we have at least another listener.
Oh, that's really nice.
But
so I have to, before we talk about your trip, you made me think of something, leaf blower. So do you know, I just found out a new thing that you can do with your leaf blower. So my son, he said, once a year, Mom, you have to clean out your dryer vent. He has his own home, they bought their home and everything. So I said, okay, Drew, I haven't done that in 20 years. You're probably absolutely right. So he buys this brush from, I don't know, Home Depot or somewhere to go through. Yep. So it doesn't work. He said, what am I going to do? He takes the leaf blower, blows it through the vent, all the lint comes out. He said it worked perfectly.
Blew it outside or blew it inside?
Blew it outside.
Wow.
Yeah, and he sent me a picture of it and all the lint that's outside. So anyone that's listening and wants to clean their dryer vent, use the leaf blower.
So, just unhooked it from the back and put it on a leaf blower?
And it just blew out all the lint.
Wow, I can imagine. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's a huge cause of fires.
it is.
Dryer vent and clogs and heat and whatever. So
Yeah, someone I work with lives in a condo, and the condo right next to her caught on fire, and it was the dryer vent. Yeah, you're absolutely
Scary.
correct. It is.
Yeah.
So back to
the
exciting
trip was
news. Let's hear about your trip.
Fantastic. Got to Milan, right? Get to Milan, Italy, and hop in a bus. There's 26 people on this tour, and it was really neat because everyone on the
nice.
tour was sort of connected through my buddy, fraternity brother Ron. His wife and two of his kids went. Friends, relatives, his cousin and his wife. Buddy that, everyone, there's like a father-son couple, a father-daughter pair, a couple, like two couples, and a couple families. Like the Stoops had their 3 kids, Koffs had their 2 kids, me and Tom Murphy went. Just fantastic time. So halfway, it's 3 hours, you land in Milan and he starts driving uphill into the Alps. We
So how long was your flight?
7 hours there.
And then you had a 3-hour drive when you got
back, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a long
So it was a
trip.
group of 26 of us, hop on the bus. Halfway to Milan, or halfway to the mountain, Bormio, we stopped. I forget the name of it. Forget the name of the town, but it's on the hillside, vineyards, vines, vineyards everywhere. It's this 400-year-old monastery that had been converted to a winery. The aging. I got photos if you want to see, but radio listeners can't see. Fantastic lunch. Had this adorable little Italian tour guide, and this is where they ate the wine. She this little accent. Like the 4 or 5 20-something kids that were there, 3 of them were like, oh.
Yeah, right.
I have my heart in the vineyard. Fantastic experience. Everybody bought some wine, bottles of wine, and popped the corks and drinking it. The rest of the ride into Bormio was quite festive. And Bormio is like a 900-year-old village. Conti. A bunch of stupid stickers.
Yeah, that's right.
In 1225, back in the old day, in Italy, you couldn't be a city until you had a church. So in 1225, the church finally granted Contessa di Bormio. But I got to show you one picture. Contessa di Bormio, and she's built a church and built villages back in the not medieval days, but were built around the church.
Right, sure.
So that was the beginning of Bormio. And there's hot springs near there, and Leonardo da Vinci used to go up and hang out in the thermal spas. Didn't get a chance to go. Ran out of time, but we're going back.
So you didn't get
going back, and I will be
going back. There you go.
Will be in those spas. But the ski mountain itself is fantastic. It's World Cup, it's a World Cup caliber mountain. There's been. This is highly stylized, but I think that's the Countessa.
Oh,
She's
look
like
at
Wonder
that.
Woman, carrying
She
a sword and the
is.
scales of justice, leading the army. You got to see this picture. That was on a fresco.
Talk about woman power.
In
Boy,
what-
there
I know.
you have
Is
it. Right
that's like
back,
Wonder
right?
Woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was like on a fresco in a village. You can swipe through pictures if you want.
This is in the church?
No, outside, like in the square. And I assume that's Contessa de Bormio because whatever she founded.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a world, Olympic caliber mountain, huge. Rivals, mountains out in the Rockies or Canada. There's some other photos you can whip through. Huge. So we skied Monday, beautiful day ski. So you take a gondola from the base up to 2,000 meters elevation, where the you're skiing on the bottom of the mountain, but the village is like the ski resort is in the middle of the mountain, so you can go up or down, but most of it's up. Skied Monday, fantastic day. The weather, spring skiing. That's kind of why we went this late in the year. But
right,
they get 8 feet of snow. Ski Tuesday, gorgeous day. Everyone skiing together, having fun. Wednesday we took a little. Two of the wives and Tom and I took a side trip to San Moritz. And
how was? Oh, you.
Oh my God! Yeah. And that was another like 2 hour and a half up far into the Alps, up and over a pass. Above the the switchbacks. You drive 10 miles to go up 2 miles because of the switchback, unbelievable switchback, gaining elevation. The top of the pass is like the Martian landscape, but in not rock and snow, like a Canadian, but it's gorgeous. In the middle of the nowhere, there's on either side of the road, little dinky parking lots, 2 trams, like 100-person trams, like big, and one went up either side of the mountain.
Oh my gosh!
Through the pass, it's like couldn't see, don't know where the heck they were going to. then down into San Moritz, and which is another, extreme, it's one of the richest,
Yes.
San Moritz, there's a few, a few
Right.
enclaves around the world that are
Quite affluent.
San
And
Moritz.
yes.
beautiful, ancient cobblestone streets, but the shopping, like there's one strip mall that had like Bulgari, Dolce and Gabbana, or Bulgari, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, some other watch, like Pierre Philippe, the super fancy watch, like better than Rolexes, whatever, in a strip mall, and like a law office, and it was like
Yeah.
beautiful building, modern, like granite's really super ultra modern looking, but it's like $1 million worth of, $5 million worth of inventory. In
Right,
the store,
right.
Those 5 little stores, whatever. And just, the Lamborghinis and the big out, there were no Fords and Chevys up there. It was Range Rovers and Mercedes. Unbelievable. We saw this one Mercedes, a lot of cars you can't get in America. There's one Mercedes, like incredible off-road looking Jeep thing, like coolest looking Mercedes, off-road vehicle ever, pulling this big black trailer. When we got around to the back of the trailer, it's towing this bright yellow Lamborghini. Like that was one of the hotels in San Francisco.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Pulling this bright yellow Lamborghini, and it's like, what? Oh, and so, hang on.
Well, you were there.
Not Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Another car. I never even heard of this car company. That's a storefront. Where is it?
It sounds.
that was a strip mall with those 5 stores in it.
Oh yeah. But it sounds like you
so
took
anyhow,
advantage of every moment that you were
on
there.
the mountain, this is a little pizza parlor on the mountain, but you look down in the valley, it's incredible. But before I blather around too long,
Go ahead.
about the skiing.
Yes.
So Thursday, back in Bormio, go skiing, last day, leaving Friday. We're skiing, it's a beautiful sunshiny day. It's probably like mid-30s, so the snow's a little soft. And the owner of the inn, the owner of the inn are two, elder, the grandma and grandpa, and their son or daughter, I forget which one, and their spouse run it now. And, they're all around. Beautiful inn. It's a whole story.
Is that where
So-
you stayed?
Yeah, in the state, around the corner from the bottom of the gondola. I mean, you walk to the gondola in your sneakers, open the locker, put your stuff on, hop to the gondola, went up. Like, could not be easier.
Oh my gosh.
Could not be easier. It's awesome. Literally a 45-second walk from our hotel to get on the lift. Took longer to put your boots on. So Thursday, we're hanging out, and he part of the trip was a guided, a session with a mountain guide. Okay, cool. But I forgot. That was like in the original literature of the
Right.
trip description. Everyone forgot about that. So we're sitting there, we're taking a break. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's this guy, and he has like the Armani, the ski jacket, like the ski patrol had these Armani jackets. They're like awesome. He pulls up in like not the ski patrol jacket, but like the mountain ambassador, like the guidebook jacket, and we're like, oh hey, how are you? And he like takes his sunglasses up, and it's the hotel guy, the owner, not Francisco, Franco, Federico, whatever. Hey, how are you? On telemark skis. Telemark is a type of technique where your heels on it. It's like cross-country skis.
Oh,
going
wow.
downhill. So we're talking to him, and previously, like the night before, a couple days before, he was on the Italian men's racing team for like 10 years, raced World Cup circuit for years. He's raced in America and Canada.
Oh wow, amazing.
Almost went to the Lillehammer Olympics, but was number 3, didn't qualify because only 1 and 2 went. Whatever. So I've prided myself on being a good skier. My buddy Ron, he's like one of the best skier I personally know. Any listeners out there, around here, like Kenny Davenport's like the best, skier. Steve Klein, there's some killer skiers around here. I've skied with them. I'm on their tails, but we were skiing together. DeMurph's great skier. To ski with an Olympic
had to be
professional caliber
amazing.
skier, it's like night and day. Like that's like comparing Kingston High School quarterback to the guy from the Bengals. Like
Right,
college,
right.
high school, college to pros.
Yeah.
That jump, the quantum leap of talent was wow. So we're like,
Wonderful
hey,
experience.
And on telemark gears, lighten them up, like whoa. So we're like, hey, where's the Olympic courses going to be? He's like, okay, went down to a lift, took back up. We come to this thing, and he's describing it. There was a downhill race there in December, but because it's so the top, like 100 yards, is so treacherous, it's closed off during the year. So we looked around, ducked under the fence, went to the top of it. Because, here's the start. You don't start going like this. You start on an angle. And, like, when you start skiing, like, when you're standing still, like, you push off with your poles if you want. And when you see ski racers begin, you see them, they come out of the gate, the little things open, beep, they go, and they're like 4 or 5 times, and then they get into their tuck.
Yep.
The top of this course is so steep, you only get one thrust because
my
you're already
gosh.
accelerated. The second one, you wouldn't do anything. You'd just be like, in the air. Yep. You go around, you make a turn, and it's on. This top 60 yards is like the steepest ski. It's closed for a reason because, there's nothing that I've ever seen that's like lift serve that's so steep. And that's the beginning of the course. So it goes down, so we skied it. We'd stop at a point, and you could still see some of the blue, like it's spring, the snow is melting off in December, where they put like the blue markings on the course, for visibility. And you could see them, and he's like, this is one turn here, and that's the second turn, and it's like the length of Hunter between turns. It's like,
oh my God.
So this, he's like, that right where the slope disappears, like that's the first jump. Like, you're in the air, 60 meters there, ski down, and he's like, what? This is how they ski it, and it's like 2 turns, like 90 miles an hour. Me, it was like, when you turn, that's how you control your speed.
Right.
Skateboarding, ice skating, whatever. Like, holy cow, and whatever. So we get to the next, it shows all the way down to the bottom. So if any skiers out there, if you're interested, really cool. Bodie Miller won the World Cup there a few years ago. Bodie Miller, remember?
Yeah, I remember Bodie Miller.
Google it, watch the run. And there's another one where he loses a ski and skis is almost halfway down, like another year. Skis down on like one ski. But, it's 4-mile course. They ski in 2 minutes. It's
amazing.
Unbelievable. You can see where like the camera stands are. Like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, right.
I look.
Now
like,
you can't wait to watch it again, right?
And,
in real time and say, I skied that slope.
Yeah, but it's one more fun fact, and I'll shut up. It's the only, I'm saying men's, women's too. This thing, downhill course, and ski courses are around the world, like famous golf courses, like Stelvio 2000s, 2000 meter, the Hahnenkamm in Kitzbühel, Austria, the Cresta, I think, where's that, in France? I think that's at Saint-Moritz, or wherever, the huge ski places, famous world runs where the Olympics have been. And this is the only downhill course in the world that you can see the finish line from the start.
Oh my God!
Down turns, and then it comes out like down below, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is. That's
and they're ready to go. It's like that's my goal right down there.
Yeah, and you can see it, right? Yeah,
it was unbelievable just the experience to ski with a talent like that, and to see the technique and how it's raced, and he said, at this point here, you're going so fast that your skis are flattering. Like only one ski's on the ground at a time because they're chattering so fast. He's like, there's nothing to do but hold on and hope nothing happens.
Did just a select group of people do that run?
Yeah, there was only I would say like 6 of us. That
right.
Did it because, we were skiing together because we were good. It was me, the Murph, my buddy Ron, and the 4 kids. The 4 20-somethings.
Yeah,
and the 20-somethings are like amazing skiers too. Like so.
Oh, that was cool. Great. And the food was good.
Great trip. All right, you want me to go on?
All
right. So the meal,
just tell us quickly about the food, and then we'll talk about
Milan,
our show.
In Milan, I had never. It was like a 15-course meal. The carpaccio. Oh my God, it was big as a hubcap, but thin as a piece of paper. But a pasta, the huge wheel, the wheel of Parmesan hollowed out. This wide tagliatelle noodles. It was some type of Alfredo, but we were in a little private dining room, big 26 of us. They wheeled it out on the cart, the cheese.
Oh my God!
They were dishing out with tongs. It was like stringy and luxurious, and it was fantastic. And then a couple courses later, they wheeled out another cart. It was like 200 years old. It had like this bear, like a bear trap, like in the cartoons, like the jaws come up. It was a whole Parma ham clamped, like with the bear claws in it, sticking up in the air. And everyone's, hey. So Norm, the tour leader, got up and he was carved it for a couple pictures. But the waiter, out of the way, buddy. This is how we start. Like whoosh, 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 shaving it, like
It's an art.
Sinbad, slicing
Art.
them, oh my God, it was like so cool. And like then the waitress walking around like, dropping it on your plate, and it's just like whoop. It was so cool, but
That's great.
yeah, it was fantastic. So
Was all the service table side?
no, just those two
just
things.
those two
Everything
things, yeah.
else was family style. From bruschetta, marinated vegetable, everything. Like literally 15 courses, and I forgot what the entree even was because they got confused.
Good, you skied during the day to wear off all that food at night, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But, so fantastic trip. So.
Well, welcome back. I'm glad you had a great time. And let's give a plug to the travel agency.
Yeah. And what are we listening to? All right, two things. Mike's Guiding Light, wonderful tour company. They're I don't want to say high end, but boutique custom tour operator. Mike's Guiding Light. Google it. Check it out. And Bodie Miller, Bormio ski, Bormio World Cup race. Pretty interesting if you're a skier out there.
All right.
But couldn't recommend it enough. But
well, welcome back. I'm glad you had a wonderful trip.
Federico, thanks, Tom. The Murphs listen. Federico was,
okay.
hotelier, whatever. Ran the inn. It was fun. It was great. Good time.
I'm so glad you had a good time.
Yep.
And for those of you that wanted to see this championship skier in person, you have to come to our breakfast next Tuesday.
That's right. I showed you the pictures.
Lodge, right? Yeah, you can look at the pictures. $10 from 7 to 9. We'll be broadcasting live.
It is a benefit for the Vet to Vet program. And at 8:30, Mark Cosapoli was going to be our guest with Gavin. I'm sorry, I still haven't gotten Gavin. Well, I've been away for a week. I haven't gotten Gavin yet. But they'll be our guests on the radio, and and it's a fundraiser for Vet to Vet. And then April 24th,
I just got a letter in the mail about it.
You did?
I
Good.
did.
Mindy
yes.
Vanek,
from Mindy.
Do you know Mindy?
I don't.
She is a wonderful woman. She's a pretty new elk, but I believe she's retired. Wonderful woman, very enthusiastic. And on April 24th, there's a bowling outing at Patel's.
The bowling lanes.
The old Hobo on the Hill, Patel Lanes there. It starts at 1 o'clock. It's $40 each. We're trying to get 5 people per lane. Come up with a group, or you can just join in. Unlimited soda, a pizza pie for each lane, and then of course they have food and bar available. Includes the bowling and shoes and that stuff, and majority of that $40 is going to the Vet to Vet program.
Yes,
so we have 2 fundraisers, one at the end of March, one in end of April, to support that service.
So, join us on either one. Join us for the bowling or join us for our breakfast next Tuesday morning.
I got to touch base with Phil Giziani. I don't know if Phil's listening, but I strong-armed him into cooking. And,
that's great. Phil does a great job. Oh, my gosh,
I'm worried that this might grow beyond our planning, because you got to plan. You got to buy a certain amount of something.
Yes.
And if we plan for 50 and 70 show up, well, I guess that's a good problem to have.
That is a good problem. You always come run to Hannaford for 2 dozen eggs and
Dispatch
a couple pounds of bacon, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great. So we hope you all join us next Tuesday. We're excited about it. This is the first remote we've done other than the Happy Christmas Fund.
Yeah,
which we do down at Boyce's. But
and the last breakfast wasn't a broadcast, was a Spring Lake a couple of years ago.
Yes.
The trail, or the
Before
firehouse.
COVID.
Yeah, that's right. Wow.
Yeah.
So 2019 was the last one.
Yeah, well, we'll be there.
We will. $10. Come and join us. Vet to Vet.
Now we got to clean the place. Oh, yeah. Spruce it up. Get the cobwebs out of the corners.
Well, it's funny. You go away on vacation, right? I don't know if this happens to you. So you're geared like the whole week before about vacation, getting ready to go to vacation. You go on vacation, and then all of a sudden you get home and all the reality of everything that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Like
There's no food
2
in the
weeks that you didn't think about anything.
Exactly.
And
But so my son was home, fortunately. The house is a little messier and dog hairier, but
I was going to ask, how did the dog make out?
She was lonely, I heard, but she made out all right. But it was funny, one point sitting, I had a black fleece on. And I love this jacket, but I can only wear it once because it gets covered in white dog hair.
Oh, yeah, the dog
So I'm wearing it, and I look down, and I'm like, this is the first time in 6 years I haven't been covered in white dog hair. I was like, this is kind of interesting. I cleaned it, I washed it, went in the suitcase.
And you can wear it a couple times and not have to worry,
I was like, wow,
right?
it was kind of funny realization.
Great, yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Who do we have today, Cameron? We have Dr. Roberts at 7:30. We'll hear about the community college. And at 8 o'clock, we have our friends from the library, so we can see what's going on there. And then 8:30, Paul Hakeem's in the area. We'll have Paul Hakeem. And
hopefully he's home.
Yeah.
I don't know. He travels a lot, so
He does.
hopefully he'll be
there at 8:30. So we're looking forward to a full show this terrific Tuesday.
Did I miss anything last week? When I came home, I had all the Freemans sitting there. Surprisingly, it's like the first week ever I've gotten all 7 papers.
As a professor, you never say, "Did I miss anything?"
All right, yeah.
It was an exciting day.
Any more? Yeah, right. Any more announcements about Kingstonian or Tech City or many more
This
restaurants
morning,
closing?
right? There was a restaurant that just
no,
closed.
really? I was being facetious.
Why am I like, yes, Moly Moly, was that closed before you left?
I heard, yeah, that was like
no.
the last.
I didn't
It
know
was just
that.
something
That was in
recent.
the paper.
Yeah, there was another.
The kitchenette.
One of the diners. I forget the name of it.
Yeah,
there was one of the diners that closed.
Yeah. And there's a nice
I wouldn't
article.
want to say because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know. You must say it. Yeah, absolutely.
Misinformation.
Yeah, and there was a nice article in the front of the paper today about Tech City, and they interviewed Pat Ryan, of course, our county executive, and Tim Wiedemann, who's the head of economic development. And they're very confident and optimistic that there'll be businesses moving into Tech City this year in 2022.
Good.
So that was a real positive.
There are already existing businesses there.
Right. But
So,
that natural resources will be moving in.
Yeah, good.
Other businesses. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him. I've never met him. I've only heard him on the radio, but he's on Thursdays occasionally. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a great guest.
He is.
Well spoken. I love his enthusiasm and
Very easy to work with.
good.
Yeah, very
Well,
easy to work with. That's what you need, right? Absolutely. That's for sure. And other than that, it was a quiet week. Not
Good.
too much, March.
Middle of March, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
I have some more syrup to filter, and then that's done.
We'll have
for
some.
the year.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have some at
I'm
the
bringing
breakfast.
some on Tuesday.
right?
Yeah, I'll be able to share what I can bring.
Are you going to be participating in the Ashokan
No, we're
Maple
done.
Fest?
No, we're
Okay.
done.
Okay. Yeah.
Pulled
You're
the,
done.
I pulled the taps before I left, and
That's it.
yes, we had a thing at work the weekend before I left. Alumni open house, thingy, and that was a push, and then that was it. Done.
Yeah. So what else is? I'm going to do a podcast. We're taping it today with Getty from Hudson Valley One about our exhibit for Women's History Month, and we're going to talk about our upcoming season at the Person House, which we're really excited about. So, you could tune into the podcast.
Sorry.
That's okay.
No. Well, how do you tune into that?
So, Hudson Valley, go right on to Facebook. Not Facebook, onto Google and do Hudson Valley One podcasts, and up comes all the podcasts that Getty does. He has some interesting ones, county legislators, the president of the D&H Canal. I miss Bill, right? Bill Merchant was our guest, but now he's on Thursdays, I guess. But their opening is coming up, Cameron. We should go to that opening, right? Because we've lived through the whole renovations
absolutely.
with Bill and so forth.
Yeah, like the ribbon cutting, like the
Yes,
ceremony.
yeah.
Let me
So
know,
we have to
please.
find out when that is.
I'm sure, the county historian and all that will be invited. so I'm
Yes,
sure
yeah,
you'll know.
yeah, we will,
I'm sure
yeah.
you'll know when.
So I'll let you know that because they've worked so hard for quite a bit, like 2-3 years through the COVID
Since they acquired
and
the
the pandemic
building and everything. Yeah,
and it's finally ready to be open. So that's
cool.
exciting.
And I want to go.
Yeah,
I like the old one. It was
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, it was
the little
right.
red building, yeah.
yeah, and you did the walk.
The five locks
Locks,
tour
yeah.
thingy. Yeah,
And when did you do that?
a couple years ago with
Okay.
my dad and son for his Father's Day.
Yes. When did we go with Bill? I think last fall.
I want to do the Solaris.
Yeah, we did the Solaris. We did
I do too.
That is such a beautiful ride. It's like
Just
like being in a Tesla.
Yeah.
Because the boat makes absolutely no
the-
sound.
Yes.
Water.
A little bit of water.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because
I
it
like
that.
cruises
Weekend,
slowly,
one, and then-
so you have time to talk. So it cruises pretty slowly all the way up to Ellenville.
Yeah.
I mean Eddyville.
Yeah. I
And,
love the history of that, man.
Yes, it was nice. Afterwards, Bill gave us an opportunity to have a sneak preview of museum, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Sweet.
plenty of room.
That's great.
Really good.
And please remember, everyone who's listening, that this is a call-in show, 331-9255. So when we have our guests come on, please feel free to call in, ask them questions. Yeah, because Cameron and I will keep it going for the half hour, but we would love for participation from call-ins. So please, from our listeners. And it's already 7:30, right?
So we'll be back.
Okay,
Right,
Dan.
Thank you, Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance. And it is now 7:30 a.m., and you're listening to KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920, 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. 34 degrees on this Tuesday, terrific Tuesday, March 22nd. And we'll be right back after these messages.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone?
Do flowers have best friends?
I don't know.
Hey, look.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Dina Roy from Hurley, and I support the Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
You're here with us at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920, 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. 34 degrees this Tuesday, March 22nd, and let's see what we have coming up in the next 3 days. Sunshine and a few clouds today with a high of 54. Partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 28. A little below freezing tonight. And Wednesday, a high of 47, and that's a nice day. It's going to be a cloudy day. Wednesday night, periods of rain, low around 35 degrees, and the chance of rain is about 100% for Wednesday night. And Thursday, too. It's a 90% chance of rain Thursday with a high of 49. And Thursday night, kind of the same. It's a 100% chance of rain Thursday night, cloudy with periods of rain. This upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, 1099 Morton Boulevard in Kingston. Kingston Community Radio and the Elks Lodge 550 team up for a breakfast live remote. And Kingston Community Radio will be broadcasting live that morning on Tuesday, March 29th from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. during our show at the Kingston Elks Lodge, 143 Hurley Avenue. It's $10 for the breakfast. The spread includes eggs, pancakes, bacon, sausage, coffee, and juice. And Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance will be doing their normal show, but over at the Elks Lodge. So come and have breakfast with us and enjoy the show while you're having breakfast. It's 143 Hurley Avenue. All are welcome, and we are going to have a great time, so come and join us. And let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance.
And we're back.
Hopefully, Dr. Roberts will be on the line very shortly.
Or someone from the college.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so there we go. Dan's giving us the
terrific Tuesday.
Yeah, and he's giving us the nod that the phone is ringing. So hopefully it's Dr. Roberts or someone from the CUNY College. We were talking off the air, right, about how nice it is when you have somebody plan the
Working
logistics.
out all the logistics.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for a trip.
So, Dr. Roberts, is that you?
Good morning.
Definitely not.
I didn't tell him yet.
Oh,
is this
it's
Jen?
Lorraine Salmon.
Oh, Lorraine, good morning.
Hi, Lorraine.
How are you?
Good morning, Nita. Good morning, Cameron.
Glad you are with us today. How are you?
I'm happy to be with you. Yes, President Roberts couldn't make it today, so you're getting Lorraine and her PCS scholarship pitch and anything else we want to talk about.
That's wonderful.
That is great.
You're definitely still on the A team, so we're happy to have you.
Awesome.
So, I did not know the PCS. What did you say?
Oh, the PCS is the President's Challenge Scholarship.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty big scholarship that we started at SUNY Ulster.
Absolutely. Why don't give us a little? I mean, Nina and I are familiar with it, but some of our listeners may not be. Can you give us a little little vignette?
Sure. It's a scholarship that we started in 2016. President Al Roberts brought the concept to us when he came here in 2015. And it started as a pilot in Rondat with 6 8th grade students being awarded a college education, a 2-year college education at SUNY Ulster. And the next year we added 10 students, 5 in Rondat and 5 in Kingston, so we were up to 16. And the next year we added 37. And the next year 49, and then 50 and 50. So we are just under 200 students today.
Through the program.
Through the program, with quite a few in college.
But those first couple years, they must be beyond. They've aged out. They've worked through the program, correct?
So then they came. Well, then they came to school. So there are 3 students who are in the queue to graduate this year. There are several students who have gone on to 4-year schools. And, it's been amazing
That's
to
fantastic.
see it all come together.
Now, what does this scholarship include? What does it cover?
It covers the scholarship that the donors are signing up for guarantees the tuition for the students. But really what it ends up covering is anything that they need. So far, we have taken care of every expense for every student. So students are often qualifying for financial aid. So financial aid gets applied first, and then we use the donors scholarship fund for the rest of their tuition. And then we cover books and fees. And quite frankly, these are the 8th grade students are first in family to attend college or to would-be graduate. And so we're taking them through all the steps of preparing for college, getting ready to apply for college, and going to college. And we work with them. They get awarded in the 8th grade, but then we're working with them in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades.
Now, along the way, are there, that whole financial aid and admissions, I'm going to say rigmarole is daunting. Are there, advisors or dean counselors to help with that?
Perfect. Almost like I cued you with the question.
Yeah, I'm getting good at this, Lorraine. It only took 7 years on the air, but I'm finally figuring it out.
That was good. So they're called PCS, so President's Challenge Scholarship Mentors. And we have admissions counselors at the college who are working with the other college students. And so they are assigned, each counselor gets assigned 2 school districts. And so during the year, they're going back and forth to the school districts to talk to the juniors and seniors anyway. And so they're meeting with the PCS students in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades while they're there. And then, of course, when the students are rounding the bend in 11th and 12th grade, they are working with their mentors from the college who are admissions counselors. So who better than they to
Yeah.
Lorraine, the thing that amazes me is that these students, you choose them going into 9th grade. So it's a 6-year commitment, and your success rate is like 99%. So how do these students get chosen to be part of the program? Because I think it's amazing how they make that 6-year commitment, and then many of them go on, like you said, to further their education. So it's really an 8-year commitment. So how does that process work?
Yeah, so we're still, midstream in that, of course, as you could tell, but we're very, very pleased with what is going on so far. But we do leave a lot of that to the middle schools. So we have a relationship with each middle school in Ulster County. So as you know, there are 9 school districts in Ulster County, but there are 2 middle schools in Kingston, so that's 10 middle schools. And we have an entire PCS application process that goes on this time of year at each of the middle schools. And the middle school puts out our application. They work with the students to encourage them to apply. And then when we have an applicant pool, we actually have the middle school, because the middle school can see who's on free and reduced lunch, and we can't. And the middle school has certainly more of an idea and concept of what's going on for each student. And so they narrow down the applicant pool based on the essays that the students write and based on anything that they know, down to 10 students who will be interviewed. And that's a pretty amazing process, because can you imagine when you were in the 8th grade that you would come into your school one day and sit down in an interview with maybe the superintendent of your school, the principal, and the president of the local college, and maybe one of our board members. And Nancy Clark runs our program, so she goes to all the interviews.
Yeah, that's probably pretty daunting, I imagine. A little intimidating, yeah. Now,
yeah.
What is the breakdown, do you know, of the boys and men and women?
Oh, I don't have that in front of me. We do, just organically, me looking at it, we have more women than men, but I don't have that exact stat in front of me.
That's great. Now, and this is all funded through the foundation, right? The Community College Foundation?
Yeah, the Community College Foundation. We're over 40 years old, and our foundation, around the time we started this program, we had about just under a $7.5–8 million endowment, and we're now up to $15 million, our foundation. We do many other things. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been cooking with oil over there.
Can you say, like how much you give out every year? Is that do you know that figure?
Well, so about 7 years ago, we were awarding about $222,000 of scholarships. I remember that number when I first came to the foundation. And this year, we're preparing our budget, and it might be in the $600,000 to $700,000 range.
Whoa!
Of scholarships. Yeah.
Pushing $750,000 a year, on top of last year and the year before and the year before. That's probably several $1 million you guys have donated. Wow.
Donated back into the community.
Wow, that's incredible. All right, now, there is, I can't recall the program, which I think is super amazing, that helps women, geared towards single mothers trying to, get,
we have, not single mother, but we have the New Start for Women program.
Yes.
Yeah, which runs through our foundation, which I do not run.
Okay, but I
probably had Jordan on your show maybe once or twice.
Yes, okay, but that's run through the foundation as well, too.
It is.
Okay.
It funnels through the foundation.
Wow.
Yeah, but I personally don't run that program.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Very involved in the other.
That's another outlay for the foundation as well. So.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an amazing program. Well, that is funded by the Novo Foundation. They supported that
seed
with
money.
1.5 million, not seed money, 1.5 million 3 years ago, and 1.5 million this year.
Fantastic.
That's great.
And the 1.5 will carry that program for another 3+ years. And then Darlene Pfeiffer kicked us off with that program. It was Darlene donated $100,000, like she hasn't done enough in the community already. That started that program and let us make the pitch to Novo and really fund that amazing program.
Wow, that's a wonderful program.
Yeah, it really is. Right now, for those of you that just tuned in, we're talking to Lorraine Salmon from Ulster County Community College Foundation, and we're talking about the success of the foundation. But Lorraine, I have to say, and I know you're not one to blow your own horn, or I know you're a very humble person, but you're instrumental in the foundation, and maybe you could tell our listeners a little bit about your role that you play at the college and your how you interact with the foundation.
Oh, Nina, that's nice. Great. So I'm the executive director of the foundation, and my history, as some of you know, was not college or college administration or even fundraising. So I came out of real estate and development and developed the Northeast Center for Special Care, for those of you who are remembering that development in the 1990s now.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Seems like so long ago, doesn't it? Jeez.
Oh, it does. I was just looking at pictures the other day. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So, so I used to be on the board of the foundation, and when Marianne Collins, who was their longtime executive director, moved into retirement, I had the opportunity to take a look at the position and come
that
back
Fluffy?
to the community, so to speak.
Was that Fluffy Collins?
Was that no Mary Ann Collins?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and so so I've been there since 2015, and the role of the executive director is twofold, right? I'm on both sides of the money, right? The donations coming in. So I'm the lead fundraiser for the foundation. So we have our gala once a year, and that brings in unrestricted funds. And then we do fundraising throughout the year, continue to meet with all the fabulous donors who support the foundation. And we bring in scholarship funds, right, for all of those scholarships that we were just talking about that get awarded. So some of those scholarships are what we call annual scholarships, and that somebody says, I'd like to fund a scholarship, so they send $1,000 once a year, and we award $1,000, right? So that's what I call kind of our in and out funding.
Yeah.
And then other people do what we call endowing a scholarship. So they might start a fund of $25,000 at the foundation, and that will keep in our investments, and that will earn income and kick off about $1,000 scholarship once a year in perpetuity. And so they might name that in memory of somebody or in honor of somebody. And that is the other part of that portfolio of those $600,000 to $700,000 of scholarships that are going out every year. Some are people going in and out each year, and some are people building the future.
Do you know how many like individual scholarships are you handle?
Yeah, over 300.
That's amazing.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Holy cow! What is the range of their awards? Can you say, or is that too?
Sure. Yeah. So we have scholarship funds that are $100,000 endowed funds, and so those funds kick off about for $4,500 a year in scholarships. So that might be three $1,500 scholarships, or obviously four $1,000 scholarships with an extra $500 going to one of them. And so there are, an amazing number of students, as I'm sure everybody realizes, right? The average student at SUNY Ulster is not necessarily somebody we have high school students who have just graduated, but we also have a tremendous, I think the average age of a community college student is somewhere between 24 and 28 years old. Yeah, so imagine, right, somebody probably is taking care of children, working part and often full-time, taking care of parents, handling COVID and all of that these last years, and then going to school on top of that. So it's an immense amount of pressure. So that's what I'm most proud of, is helping those people kind of hold on.
Have you seen a growth in demand for people looking for student aid or
totally.
scholarships?
Totally. And we...
Can you just... Is that need from, do you think, people desiring a more desire to improve, their skill levels, or a falling economic trend? Or
I think it's both, and I think it's a lot of people who, imagine some people started on their college path, right, and then life got hold of them. And then when they're in their mid to late 20s, sometimes their 30s, sometimes their 40s and 50s, they decide to come back, and they come back with a vengeance. I mean, they are going to do this, and nothing is going to stop them, except that doesn't mean there won't be a ton of roadblocks. So we have another program that I'm super proud of called Lights for Learning. It's our student emergency funding. And so anybody who wants to donate to that, let me tell you what that is. With the Lights for Learning Fund, we can use the funding for anything. And so what that turns out to be, it's awarded by a committee, but what that turns out to be is sometimes a student is doing all the things that we just talked about. They're working, they're taking care of kids, they're taking care of parents, they're on their way to their degree, and the washing machine breaks, and they have 3 kids. And they've put all their money into school and gas and all the things, right, books. And they don't have the money for the washer, and they either have to start working more hours because they need a washing machine because they have kids, or what? And so this fund, again, going back, used to award about $2,500 a year. 2 years ago, we raised $100,000 into that fund and awarded $115,000 and awarded it all during COVID.
Wow.
And so we were able, it was like playing ping pong with problems, right? It's just like the faculty and staff would feed in the student. They would recommend the student to fill out the application, and the committee would quick look at it in one day. And so these students would go from losing their homes, needing deposits, needing food, kind of anything that was getting in their way of their path to studying and doing the work and staying in school. And we were able to make awards of $500 to $2,000 at a clip and just knock the problem away.
That is absolutely wonderful. That's
Lorraine, all these programs are like phenomenal. And the thing that I find sometimes is getting that word out or educating people as to programs that are available, how to get those funds. So everything that we're talking about here, how do people find out about it? Is there application processes, or how does the process work?
Yeah, we can do a couple of things today. So of course, we're on the website for SUNY Ulster. So without giving a long, you can just Google SUNY Ulster and click on Foundation, Donate, and it'll cue you to different things that you can donate to. So that's one way. Another way is I'm happy to give out my cell phone number. And if anybody wants to just text me the acronym PCS for President's Challenge Scholarship, I'll be happy to send back a link that gives them everything you could possibly ask about the President's Challenge Scholarship. You guys can check it out, too, and then you can share it for me. So my cell phone number, can I give that out? Is that all right?
It's your number.
All right. It's 518-859-5279.
Can you just give that one more time, Lorraine?
Yep, 518-859-5279. And people can either just write donate to SUNY Ulster, or they can write PCS. And whatever you write, I'll start writing back to you.
Fantastic. That's great.
Thank you.
And if you're a student and you want to take advantage of these scholarships or some of these programs, do they go on to your website and all of that information is available to them, how to apply for some of these programs that, are helpful, especially the one that you just mentioned. I just think that's amazing help to people. I've seen it on numerous occasions where certain things have restricted individuals' financial constraints from furthering their education, and in fact, the ability just to apply for something like that. How do they go about it?
It's called Lights for Learning, and it's on their portal at the college. Any faculty member can point them to it. And they also can just go to the foundation and follow the links. But the students get emails from us reminding them, and our faculty and staff are amazing. They're kind of our front line, and they keep an ear out and keep an eye on the students in such a great way. Truly one of the most rewarding processes I've ever been involved in is to see how that kind of works organically, and students are sent to us to be helped, to be assisted. And, sometimes you can't even believe it, but sometimes it's a car battery. I mean, it's a car battery. You just need to buy somebody a $150 car battery or 2 tires, and they can get refocused and keep going. So, we're always looking for donors for that program. We're in the middle. We just received a $20,000 award from the Community Foundations of Orange and Sullivan, who also work in Ulster County, from the oh gosh, I just blew their name out of my head. I'll come back to it. The family, they have a family fund there. The folks that used to own the lumber yard down. Oh shoot, I'll come back to it.
You're trying to think of it.
I know, right?
You won't remember it when you're trying to think of it.
No.
Don't you hate that? I turned 60 last week. It's all over, folks.
Oh,
happy birthday!
Yes.
Thank you. It's just mush. The mind. It's just.
It's just a number now.
Yeah, it's something about when you hit your 60s.
Yeah,
I'm with Lorraine. I don't know. It's that memory thing that happens. That's for sure. Oh, gosh. But, Lorraine, you wear so many hats and you do so many things in the community. And you're also an author. And you amaze me with your motivation, your energy, your creativity. And for those of you that are listening and maybe have never had the opportunity to meet Lorraine, I hope your paths cross at some time, because Lorraine is an amazing individual. And when we talk about the foundation, the success of the foundation is many people, but Lorraine is instrumental and really one of the motivators behind there. So it's a pleasure to have you on our show today.
Oh, thank you. And it's the Rowley Family Fund. It just popped into my head.
Ah, there you
Rowley
go.
Family Fund.
There you go.
The Rowley's fabulous family, and so they are huge, huge supporters. Last year, 2 years ago, 30,000, and this year, 20. So $50,000 to help those students.
That's wonderful.
Yep. So
Now-
spread the word if you can't get. Just spread the word.
When was the foundation founded?
Oh gosh, 76.
Oh, wow. Oh, when was the community college open?
Oh gosh, you're killing me.
Sorry,
Well,
but-
they celebrated their 50th. Oh God, I think about a decade or so ago. I think we're around 60.
Okay,
And
so
the foundation celebrated their 40th just after I got here
Yeah,
in
so-
2016.
Yeah.
not
Yeah, so
long
we're
after.
like 40. Yeah.
Yeah. And from I would imagine very humble beginnings. A few interested, community members and staff people.
Yes.
To grow to a $15 million endowment is
Beautiful
impressive.
for you to mention them, of course. And I looked at the numbers. They started in the first year with $15,000.
15,000. What's that? A million million times growth or whatever.
And so, 15 million, of assets. It's unbelievable. And I would mention, while we're on the college, SUNY Ulster is the #1 community college in New York State for the second year running. So that's amazing, considering what we've all been living through, right?
And
It is amazing.
I know you're a very humble person, but a lot of that award would probably be because of the foundation.
Yes.
Your scholarship and the support systems that you guys are funding through the school that that takes SUNY Ulster next level. So
Yeah, well, we have a tremendous board. It's chaired by Laurel Sweeney, if anybody knows Laurel, and before that, John Marks, and before that, the fabulous Anita Williams-Peck, who we all miss. So we've had a very, very large growth. But yes, the foundation pumped as much, just a huge amount of effort and finances into the college, and but the faculty and staff, it just stepped up in an unbelievable way. It's really, they always say it takes a team, and I have to be honest. This is not us. This is our team.
how many people are on the foundation board?
24.
Wow. Is that the your mandated number or your
No,
bylaws?
we can flex between 15 and 30.
Okay, cool.
What's our own mandate? But yes.
Are you if is the foundation board something that people could volunteer for and get involved with, or do you seek people out through a committee work or whatever?
Both ways. We certainly seek people out, but if anybody's interested now or in the future, they can reach out for me. I'll give you my email address, which is Salmon, SALMON, L for Lorraine, at sunyulster.edu. We have a nominating committee that is always looking into the future for who we might ask on. But if somebody's interested, they can volunteer for a committee and get to know us a little bit, and us get to know them, and then we can look into the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there what's the term length? Or is
Our
there?
terms are 3-year terms.
Okay.
And you can have,
So it's a
Commitment.
A commitment.
Yes.
But you can't make it a smaller commitment because the buy-in would be less. So.
Well, the on-ramp to knowing even what we're doing, right? If you can imagine what we covered just now, if you tried to understand all those programs in depth.
Yeah.
Right.
So the on-ramp to even knowing everything is about a year until you kind of have it under your belt. And then it's easier
I would
to
absolutely believe
affect
that.
change. Yeah.
Awesome. So we got about a minute left. So if you choose, would you like to repeat any of the numbers you gave us? If not, that's
I will.
fine.
I'd love to. We're looking right now for donors for the President's Challenge Scholarship. People may want to know it's $7,200 to sponsor a student, but you can fund that contribution over 4 years. So look at it like $1,800 a year or 2 $900 payments, and you can put an Ulster County 8th grade student, you can fund their college education. It's pretty amazing. So my cell phone number is 518-859-5279, and I'm happy to text you back a link with a lot of information that you can peruse and not feel under pressure, and then text me or call me if you're ready to talk.
Great.
Fantastic. Yes.
Well, Lorraine, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
joining
Lorraine.
us. I hope we didn't wake you up too early.
No, you guys are great. Thanks for
All
what
right.
you do.
It looks
Big shout
beautiful.
out.
It looks beautiful and sunny outside. So have a wonderful day.
Yes.
And again, thank you for your
thanks for
work
coming on the show.
and being with us. So
Okay, you be well.
wonderful.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, Dan, I hear our library ladies in the interim, so why don't we go to break, and maybe we might have a birthday or two, and then
Yes.
we'll be joined on air with our guests from the Kingston Area Library. So, all righty, take care.
Okay, and thank you, Nina Poshchapak, Cameron Rylance, and a very, very special thanks to Lorraine Salmon, SUNY Ulster, with scholarships and the President's Challenge. Thank you so much for calling in and being our guest. It's 33 degrees right now on this Tuesday, March 22nd. This last portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, 1099 Morton Boulevard. In Kingston is their main office. You're listening to WGHQ AM 920 and 92.5 FM, the home of Kingston Community Radio, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is George Post from Ulster Park, New York, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you. Where else can you speak to your local representatives on the air and have your questions answered? So thank you and support KCR.
And we're back, and you're with us here at Kingston Community Radio, WGHQ AM 920 and 92.5 FM. A little bit about the weather in the next 3 days. Sunshine with a few clouds today with a high of 54. 28 degrees is the low for tonight, and partly cloudy skies. And Wednesday, 47-degree high. And that's pretty much all to say. It's going to be a cloudy day, though, Wednesday, and periods of rain on Wednesday night. It's a 100% chance of rain for Wednesday night. Exactly when it starts, I'm not sure. A little later in the evening. And Thursday day, periods of rain, about high of 49. And again, it's a 90% chance of rain for Thursday. And Thursday night, a 100% chance of rain with periods of rain all night long with a low of 42. And this upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. Visit rgbaum.com for more information. And don't forget, and we will repeat, Kingston Community Radio, Elks Lodge 550 team up for a breakfast live remote. And that's Tuesday, the 29th of March from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Kingston Elks Lodge is at 143 Hurley Avenue. And the cost is $10. And breakfast includes eggs, pancakes, bacon, sausage, coffee, and juice. And Kingston Community Radio will be broadcasting live that morning with Cameron Rylance and Nina Poshchapak. So that's next week. What do you think of that? That's next week. And so come up and join us and have a great breakfast with us all. And it's on March 29th from 7 to 9 a.m. at the Kingston Elks Lodge, 143 Hurley Avenue. All are welcome, and it will be a great time. Let's get back to the on-air studio with Cameron Rylance and Nina Poshchapak and our new guests.
And we are
Thank you,
back.
Dan.
Unfortunately, we don't
No,
have
I'm
any
so
birthdays
sad.
to announce.
I have a birthday. Can I announce it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so happy birthday to my sister Alice. Her birthday was yesterday.
Oh.
So wish her a very, very happy birthday. In our family, every week in March, there's a birthday.
That's cool.
Yeah, so and next week I'll be wishing my daughter Dana happy birthday.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
There we go.
Awesome.
But Dan, how can we get these birthdays on the air?
Oh, my heavens, it's so easy. Nina, all they have to do is email kcr921@gmail.com or just mail them to Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York, 12402. Or you can call me, and I will write it down and give it to Jean and Lawrence.
You are right. Very easy.
So we're back. Marjorie and Ursula, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Good. And you came bearing gifts. I love gifts.
We did. I came this morning. We came this morning with our hands and arms full. A lot of it because we, as you know, do a lot of partnerships with other folks in the community doing exciting things, and they are generous enough to loop the libraries into their good efforts. So I brought some things to share with you all this morning to talk about some of those partnerships as well as some of the things that just the library is doing.
Well, and you at Kingston Library are very good partners also. So
we try to be.
Yes, you are. Absolutely. And we're excited. It feels like Christmas here. So where should we start?
Well, why don't we start with the things that Cameron is holding? And what that is we have been talking with Jillian Nadiak-Brooks. She's a community engagement facilitator with Ulster County through the Department of Mental Health, and she works with a harm reduction program. So she is very generous with looping the libraries into the county efforts so we can partner and serve our communities in harm reduction efforts. And harm reduction being, drug abuse and use and overdose prevention and that kind of thing. And the most recent effort that she has helped us participate in are the distribution of some medication disposal packets. And what these are, and we'll be giving them away at Kingston Library and some of the other Ulster County libraries, these are little packets of powder that you can use to dispose of the unused medication that so many families have in their medicine cabinets. I know I have been in that situation where you have that bottle, you should get rid of it, you shouldn't just throw it in the garbage, or, like many of us grew up, don't flush it.
Flush it down.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's not the right thing to do. And we also know that our law enforcement and other organizations have drop boxes, but you're looking at it. Well, this is super easy. You can take these packets. What you do is you put the powder in the pill bottle. You add some water to the pill bottle. You shake it. It renders the medication safe and disposable, and then you just throw it in the garbage. And these packets can be just kept at home. You can keep it at home for when you need it.
Yeah.
And Ulster County has provided Ulster libraries with boxes of these packets to distribute to the community, and I think it's wonderful.
Absolutely. It's such a there's some facts and figures on here. 60,000 kids under the age of 5 go to ERs annually, unsecured medications, because they're sitting around. Like you said, you got them in the medicine cabinet because you stopped taking the pills, your back stopped hurting, whatever.
Yeah.
And it works. Excuse me, it works on everything. I mean, antibiotics too. Misused antibiotics are under.
Absolutely.
Narcotic strength. Painkillers. So.
Yeah. And these packets just make it super, super easy to do the right.
Yeah. If anyone has small children or adult, that's how adults get their. Adult drug abusers. Deferred. Diverted medication. What's the term for it?
I don't know.
What I'm talking about? Like diverted or something. There's a term for it. Anyhow. But yes, that's awesome.
So we can get these packets at the library?
Yes, we will be distributing them at the library. And like I said, you can just keep them at home for when you need them. And
we don't know how you can get them once you run out of the supply. Do you know how we can get these?
You can contact, they've also given us these information cards that go with the packets, and you can contact the folks at the Ulster County Department of Mental Health, and they will send you some more.
Oh, yes, and here, now that you say that, it says, did you use this packet? Want another? Let us know. And there's a little scan.
A QR code.
Yeah.
Yep, and you can scan it and let them know that you need more.
That's fantastic. That's great.
So we're always happy to be a partner with our, local government and community partners. And this is one of those efforts.
Yes, yes. And that's amazing. So you do partner with Jillian on other levels also. So that's a great partnership, because we're just talking in the last half hour how difficult it is sometimes to communicate to people the things that are available to them. And if we don't work in partnership, and libraries are one of the greatest partners because you touch so many lives and so many people. So that's great that you're partnering with the county on like she does with drug abuse and so forth.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah. So another partnership that we can talk about, if you take a look at this flyer that I brought.
Yeah, I was just looking. There's two of the books are.
Kingston Library is participating with several other community partners in a Big Read Hudson Valley program in April. It's called Big Read Hudson Valley, Spanning the Hudson River with Words. We're going to be reading 2 books. The primary book is The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros, and a second book called The Beautiful Things That Heaven Bears by Dana Mengestu. They're both immigrant stories, and I brought you copies of the books so you can read them and participate in some programs. We, at Kingston Library, are going to be doing a number of programs associated with this. We have one coming up Thursday, sort of a teaser for the big read, where we're going to be talking about women's issues in the house on Mango Street, and that's accessible for adults and teens. So any teenagers and up who have read the book, and you can get a free copy of The House on Mango Street at the library, so you can swing by and pick it up, read it. It's actually a really accessible book. It's in very short sort of essays, and it's not a long book, but it's become a classic. It's actually 25 years old now. So,
really?
Yep.
And
Yep.
I read it by borrowing it through Libby. I got the e-reader one.
E-book, yep.
E-book, and I read it on my tablet, which was easy.
And we have also purchased extra copies of the e-audio book. So if somebody wants to listen to the book on a walk or a commute or a workout, you can download the audio book and listen to it. So that's available as well. We're having a really wonderful event in collaboration with the Rear Center and Lavos and the Center for Creative Education on Saturday, April 9th. It's actually going to be a performance of street theater in the Midtown neighborhood, where we're going to be taking selected essays from the house on Mango Street, and folks from the community will be acting out the parts of the essays in different locations around Midtown. So we'll be starting at the library, doing a craft. We'll be stepping out onto the street and moving through the neighborhood to do, different actors will be performing different parts from these vignettes. And we're also going to have some of the students from the Center for Creative Education doing a movement piece, some dance as well as part of that. And then we'll be ending up back at the library for some food and the kickoff of a immigrant oral history project that we're doing at the library in conjunction with the Rear Center. So it's going to be
a lot of moving parts to
Yes,
that
it
day. Holy
is.
cow.
Yes.
It is, but our partners, the Center for Creative Education and the Rear Center and Lavos and the library, when you have all of these people partnering and collaborating, you can really do some of these wonderful things.
Do you know what spots or what places they'll be stopping at, so if people want to come and see them?
Well, it'll be starting at the
so
library.
you could follow them through their
and we
whole-
can.
It's meant to be a procession?
It's meant to be a procession.
Okay.
Wow.
In fact, the art project that we'll be starting with at the library is going to be something to carry through the streets to sort of create a visual for this group of folks who will be
Cool.
moving through the street.
Interactive, like immersive art or something.
Exactly.
Huh.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Performance art that you're in it.
Yeah, you're in it, and I'm sure that folks who are not going to hear about it are going to encounter this on the street and
Yeah.
hopefully join in while it's moving through the street.
And it's free for everyone. No reservations required.
Nope. Just show
outside,
up.
So
it's outside.
Yeah.
I think it's a good example of how when several groups come together, they can accomplish more than anyone can on its own.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Each one brings a different piece.
Synergy.
So that it comes together but everybody sticks to what they know best.
Yes.
Yeah. We're doing a writing workshop with Derek Furr from Bard. He's going to be helping with a writing workshop as part of this program. We're going to be doing a separate book group for the Beautiful Things That Heaven Bears. That's going to look at immigrant narratives. We're going to have a puppet show for children about a book called Dreamers, which is also an immigrant story. And again, we're working with another community partner, one of our strong community partners, the Ulster Literacy Association. We're going to be doing a program called Translating the Immigrant Experience, where we will be joined by some tutors and learners from the Ulster Literacy Association using some of the essays in The House on Mango Street as sort of inspiration for conversations around what language means, language learning means when you're an immigrant and coming to a new home, and how your life is sort of shaped by not knowing the language, learning the language, becoming fluent in the language, and how your life is shaped in a new home through the language as you acquire it. So we'll be talking to people who have actually experienced that, using The House on Mango Street as inspiration. So that is in April as part of the Big Read, and there will be other programs by other organizations. At Bard, Sandra Cisneros will be there herself doing an event on April 6th. And other libraries, we're also collaborating with Rough Draft and Oblong Books, our bookstores. Ramapo for Children in Rhinebeck is another organization that's collaborating. There's going to be programs all over the place. So if you go to bard.edu/bigread, you can find that information.
Do you know what you're going to be doing with Ramapo?
I know one of the things that they're doing is a tortilla making workshop. I don't have the date on that. I'm sure if you go to Big Read, it's there.
I know Bard, the brothers at Bard worked this past couple summers with Ramapo counselors for the summer camp.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just curious about that connection and
Yeah,
bringing them into the fold. So.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah,
and Bard is such a great community connector. They really
very quietly.
They
and
do a
under the radar,
lot of outreach.
A ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Mentoring and the reading programs and the brothers at Bard.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful.
And they're very good about reaching out. There's not. We all know about that town and gown sort of division that can happen in college towns, and Bard has really broken that down and crossed the river into Kingston and works with a lot of us over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do our college class, don't they?
The Clemente class, when that was disrupted by COVID, yes. The Clemente class at Kingston Library and the Bard Math Circle that we help support as well. So, they do a lot of things. So also coming up in April, April is National Poetry Month for poetry lovers and folks who maybe are apprehensive about poetry and maybe are interested, poetry curious. Addie will be doing another one of her collaborations at People's Place, a lunch and learn on Fridays in April at noon. So folks can have lunch from the People's Place Cafe and go to the Wellness Empowerment Center and join folks from People's Place and Addie from Kingston Library to read poetry and discuss poetry.
Now, you guys started this in February with
Black History Month.
Black History Month readings and readings.
Yeah, and so we're doing it. We're doing it again
awesome.
in April for Poetry Month.
Pretty much every month is a month of something. Are you guys
It is.
It's a big.
I think we're looking at every other month doing this collaboration with People's Place.
Right, March is Women's History Month. So
It
if
is.
you get historic women poets, you'd be like, pow, pow. It's like a home run right there.
Well, that's kind of the thinking behind the women's themes of women in the House on Mango Street. At the end of Women's History Month, leading into April for the Big Read. So we've sort of bridged that.
Are the poets already lined up, or are you coming in to read your poetry for Addie's workshop?
I don't know, because Addie is running that, and I trust that she is going to do an amazing job. And I don't know if she has selected the pieces that you'll be reading or not yet. But people can reach out to her or keep an eye on our website or just show up Fridays in April at noon.
Find out exactly what's going on.
And be part of a poetry reading program.
And there's 4 poems and they're going to have a related theme each week, right?
I
think we'll talk about 4 poems.
Yes.
On a related theme. So that should be great. And like you said, you could pick up your meal at the cafe. You could do a little shopping at the store beforehand.
That's right.
Afterwards. Yeah. So that's great.
So another one of those great collaborations with our community partners. People's Place is also a great community partner.
Next Friday it starts.
Starts next Friday,
All right,
which
The
is
month of
shocking.
March, right?
sure.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Just amazing.
You know, and I brag on Addie and all the wonderful programs that she does. And we have another librarian, Brian James, who you have met and who we have mentioned. Brian.
Here.
Yep.
Wasn't that Addie with?
Yep.
Yeah. Addie sat there and Brian sat there.
And Brian has put together a program, a Kingston Immigrant Oral History program that he is doing, again, in collaboration with the Rear Center, where they will be bringing in immigrants from all the different immigrant communities in Kingston and actually recording their stories.
Oh, that's great.
And creating oral histories for a collection that will be part of Kingston Libraries and the Rear Center's collections.
We talk about in history, right, the documents that tell the story and so forth, but oral history is so impactful, and it's such an important part of telling that story. And all of us have probably had experiences in our lives where our grandparents, we wish we had captured some of the traditions, some of the thoughts, or maybe if they came from another country, what it was like coming over to the United States, to America. So I think that's fantastic that you're doing this oral history that will be part of the story being told for years and years to come.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. What a great idea.
And the idea is, you know, like you said, we hear our family stories through you know, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, immigrant stories. But this is going to be the story of Kingston through immigrant stories because, you know, we know there's Italian immigrants, Irish immigrants, African-American folks in the community from all over the world, and it creates this amazing community that we all live in. And won't it be great to be able to hear their stories?
Is he going to create a video, or what is he creating from this?
It's going to be an audio recording.
Audio, okay.
I don't know that it's going to be video, but it might be. It will definitely be an audio recording.
And it'll be something that people can then access at the library?
Yep, and I don't know exactly how yet, whether it will be a digital access or, but they'll work through that as they do the program.
And that's Saturday, April 9th.
April 9th, and that will be immediately following our street theater program.
April 9th is a heck of a day.
We'll be inviting folks back to the library to have some light refreshments and introduce this Immigrant Oral History Project.
Will he be reaching out to individuals prior who will be giving the oral history, or is it something where people who are involved in this whole activity throughout the day can then give an oral history?
It's my understanding that this program is going to be ongoing, and that April 9th, 3 to 5, is going to be an initial event.
Okay.
So a kickoff event. Yeah. And then it will be ongoing from there.
I think that's very exciting.
Yep.
Speaking about books, we might mention that our book sale is coming up also April 2nd.
Yes, Saturday, is it?
Saturday, I think it's the 2nd, yeah, because Friday's the 1st.
Okay, Saturday, April 2nd.
Book to read for things. You can stop by and get a book of poetry or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is first sale you've had in a while, probably, right?
In 2 years.
Wow.
Yep.
And this is put on by who? The Friends of the Library?
Friends of the Kingston Library,
As
yes.
a fundraiser for
The library.
Excellent. Is it like you got tables and books laid out, or how does it
shelving
function?
in the basement.
Okay.
And they have the books grouped similar to the way you would find them in a bookstore. Fiction, nonfiction, sometimes there's a mystery section, and children's books, which are always a good buy, and DVDs or whatever is donated or is being discarded that we can pass on that are in good condition. And the prices are quite reasonable. I don't think there's anything more than $1 or $2.
Oh, wow.
is
And that's Saturday, April 2nd, from when to when?
From just after we open until about 4 o'clock
Okay.
before we close. So
And
they're there
are there any restrictions or, no COVID protocols or anything? Good. Hopefully we'll pack the place and you'll make lots of money.
Yeah. Bring cash is about the only thing, and they have some bags, but if you tend to buy a lot, bring your own. But other than that, yeah.
How many, I know it's the first one in 2 years, but how many books do you normally get rid of? Like thousands?
I don't know if we get rid of
Hundreds? A lot? Like empty a few shelves?
Hopefully.
Yeah,
right, the more the better.
We can do books every day, so we need the room.
It must be thousands, because I know that we have a dedicated team of friends of the Kingston Library who have managed our book sale for years and years and years, and there's good turnover. In the stock of books,
Yeah.
we're constantly bringing in donations, and they're selling them.
Yeah, a 4-foot shelf full of books like this, there's got to be 80 books on a shelf.
Oh, yeah.
10 shelves, there goes 800 books,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
And like Ursula mentioned, there's books for children. And while libraries are wonderful, we all know what it's like to have your very own books at home on your own bookshelf that are yours. And so I would encourage parents and everyone to come and take a look and see what we
Kids'
have.
books have been about 25 cents. They keep the price of those very low.
Yep.
Can't tell you how many
What
times
a
I read
bargain.
One Hungry Caterpillar and
Yeah, right.
10
Midnight
hungry
Moon.
monsters. Whatever.
So this would be a parent's opportunity to come and refresh those bookshelves in the bedrooms and the nurseries. Yeah, maybe add something to the
And
mix.
those good gifts too,
They are.
If you're visiting someone with kids or whatever, if they
When
don't
you
like
have
it.
kids coming over this summer, there's DVDs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you're not usually
Vacations or time off, summer vacation.
So if the kids
Rainy
are coming,
days.
you're not used to it, pick up some books at the library and you can even send them home.
Yes. And that's next Saturday, a week from Saturday.
April, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry.
No,
No, that's great. And I guess the last thing that I have to mention is a teen game time, Wednesday, April 13th. No theme, no collaboration, just Kingston Library doing a game time at 3:30 in the afternoon for teens. So if they want to come and play some of the games that my child and I are too old to be really aware of. So I'm looking at these games and it says Among Us and Gardic and Scriblio, which I hope folks who are listening know more about than I do, but I know that they're very fun and very popular games. And this is just an opportunity for teens to come together, play these games, have a snack, and enjoy our beautiful teen room here at Kingston Library.
And you know what I think is really nice is if you can't make it in person, you can join us on Google Meet. It says on the, register for online for Google Invite. So that's really nice. So you can also participate from the comfort of your home or whatever. If you don't have transportation to the library, you can still be part of it. And that's a great thing. And that's Wednesday, April 13th at 3:30.
That's right.
Yeah, that's great. It's great to engage the teens, right? Do you have? And it looks like you have a popular teen program.
We do. I'm going to say that Brian James sort of takes the reins with our teen programs. He does a great job. He and Addie have done some really fun things over the last several months, and I can see that they are slowly building up a group of teens and getting them library cards and engaging them in library services. So,
Have you seen my buddy Caleb recently?
Caleb is so dedicated to the farm project that I think that's where the bulk of his time goes. But I'm sure he's been at the library using the library. He always has.
I sort of lost track since my son, and since they aged out of Scouts, I sort of
Right.
lost track of him a little bit. So
Yeah.
good, great kid.
Yes, lots of great kids in Kingston, and we get to see a lot of them. So very proud of them.
Now, last month, wasn't there a teen like a video making program or something with the teens? I thought it was making a video game or something like that, or something last month they did.
For some reason, I'm thinking Dungeons and Dragons. Was there?
I remember Dungeons
Oh,
and
okay,
Dragons.
yeah, yeah,
There is.
I didn't know what that was, and
I believe
D&D
Brian is still doing
day?
a Dungeons and Dragons group. I know last month they had a hot cocoa science program for teens.
I thought they had to make a video.
It's entirely possible.
It might have been more than a month ago. I don't know. So.
Yeah.
Well, we
it's
had
possible.
a teen group pre-COVID that had an award-winning video that they did. There were 5 nationwide that were selected as winners, and our teen group had one of the 5.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So
That's fantastic.
So we're
That's
getting
good.
the 1 minute left signal here.
Yes.
So
So if anyone wants to see about these programs, they can stop by the library, 55 Franklin Street. They can call us, 331-0507, or go to kingstonlibrary.org and check out our calendar and our other
and
programs.
for anyone who may have missed the beginning of this segment here, the libraries are handing out Dispose RX. It's a powder that you mix with your unused prescriptions to safely destroy them and get rid of them so they can just be tossed in the garbage. So, and that's provided by the county. It's at the library. Works for everything. So let's
Pick
let's
up
do
your
it.
right, yeah.
Do your
Pick up your
stuff,
free
so.
book. Pick up your disposable RX. Yeah.
All right, we got to go. All right,
Okay.
ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ursula and Marjorie, and everything that the Kingston Library is doing for our community. And we thank Nina Poshpak and Cameron Rylance for hosting. And it's now at the bottom of the hour, and you're with us on Kingston Community Radio, KCR at AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. This last portion of Kingston Community Radio was brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. Visit rgbaum.com for more information. We'll be right back after these messages.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to
choose between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Eleanor Arrow from the town of Ulster, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
Thank you, Eleanor, and thank you all of our listeners on WGHQ 920 on your AM dial, 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org, 7 to 9 a.m. every weekday. Your call-in number is 331-9255. And a big event, Kingston Community Radio and Elks Lodge 550 team up for a breakfast live remote Tuesday, March 29th from 7 to 9 a.m. at Kingston Elks Lodge, 143 Hurley Avenue. Kingston, cost is $10. Breakfast includes a spread of eggs and pancakes and bacon and sausage and coffee and juice. Please come. And Kingston Community Radio will be broadcasting live that morning right from 143 Hurley Avenue at the Elks Lodge. So please come down and enjoy the festivities and enjoy breakfast from 7 to 9 a.m. with Nina Poshpak and Cameron Rylance. We'll see you there. And this upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank. Rondout Savings, always working for you and our community with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park. Also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Sunshine and a few clouds today with a high of 54. We're not getting too much past about 33 degrees right now, but it's gonna climb up to about 54 degrees today. And it's going to drop down to 28 degrees tonight with the cloudy skies. And very cloudy on Wednesday. Very cloudy, but nothing but a high of 47 degrees. Wednesday night, going to be periods of rain with a low of 35 degrees. 100% chance of rain Wednesday night. 100% chance of rain Thursday. Also periods of rain with a high of 49 degrees. And Thursday night, cloudy with periods of rain. And again, 100% chance of periods of rain throughout Thursday night. And let's get back to the on-air studio. With Cameron Rylance, Nina Postapak, and Paul Hakim.
And we're back for the home stretch.
Yes, our last half hour.
Yes, and we're just talking off air. Congratulations, Grandpa.
Good,
Yes,
thank
we
you
have
very
Paul
much.
Hakim
Grandchild
in the studio
number
with
two.
us. Yes.
Yeah,
Number
yeah,
two.
healthy little girl.
Nice.
Yep, it's awesome. We welcomed her on Thursday. Hell of a week last week.
So what was the date there last Thursday?
St. Patrick's Day.
Holy cow!
Oh, St. Patty.
She's a Cahill, right?
Yeah, she will
Oh
never
my
have
gosh.
a problem finding people to go out with her on her birthday.
That's right. Yeah, she was a Cahill name. Yeah, exactly. That's great. Congratulations.
Yep.
Yes,
So it's so special. Yeah, it's so nice being
absolutely.
a grandparent because it's like, okay, she's crying.
Yeah.
Take her back.
You can play the spoiler. That's cool.
That really is.
Yeah, no.
And condolences
so was
too.
that a
Yeah.
year and a half or so between?
2 years and 3 months.
Okay, so that's good.
So it's
That's
good spacing.
Yeah, definitely.
Good spacing. Maybe the next one will come a little quicker.
You better ask your daughter about that. Sorry, Dad. You're getting two.
Yeah, no, it's great.
That's cool. That's awesome.
It's great. Well, my brother Steve did that. They were like, okay, we're going to have one more. And then they had twins. So they went from 2 to 4. And
Yeah, that's a big leap. Yeah.
Like my cousin did that. She had twin daughters, and then they had triplets, daughters, two identicals
Oh
and a
my
fraternal. Yeah,
gosh.
5 within 12 months, or like whatever. It's like Irish quintuplets or whatever. Yeah, that's brutal. Imagine like the junior, senior year in high school.
No, I cannot.
They might not have thought it at the time, but what a blessing.
Yeah. It's cool as hell, and they all and they all look like they all look just like their mother. So it's kind of funny.
Wow. Yeah. Great.
But so what's going on? Any?
So just enjoying the spring weather.
Yes.
It was so beautiful.
Wonderful.
What was it, like 75 degrees on Friday? Was that Thursday or Friday? I don't remember. We had a
Friday.
beautiful day
I think it was
last week.
Friday. Yeah.
Yesterday was gorgeous.
Yeah, wait, was that Dan piping in with the
weather?
the reverse weather forecast?
Right, exactly.
Friday, I hope the weather holds out. Friday at Bel Air at noon. We're having the Elk Spring Ski Bash. So if you're not doing
that's
anything,
fun.
I really hope you have some snow up there.
firing up the Barbie at noon. So yeah.
Okay. What date is that?
Friday. This Friday. Bel Air.
Okay, we'll
Few
have
of
to
us
do
heading
that.
up.
I think I can get one more day of skiing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
great.
supposedly
This-
a bunch of snow up there still. So
Yeah, and they say spring skiing. I'm not a skier.
yeah,
It'd be
yeah,
great.
Yeah. So
so-
anyone that's listening, noon or Friday, Bel Air, we'll be tailgating on that little lot by the old Tomahawk lift. But now it's lift 7 because I guess saying Tomahawk is culturally appropriate.
From the slopes of Italy to
Yeah.
the slopes of Bel Air.
It's a wind down, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Wind down.
It is.
Yeah, so it sounds like Italy was a great time.
Fantastic trip. The skiing, the culture, the food, the trip, the company. Totally
So
do it again.
what was it like traveling with the war going on? Was there a lot of concern or what
Didn't
were the
even
airports like?
I couldn't find American television. I only turned the TV on once, but there's no American
Right.
television. Everything was in thing, and I thought, let me try the caption, closed captioning. It's in Italian. Closed caption in English. I was like, damn it, I should have known that.
Well, you were probably better off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But honestly, no. They didn't seem to be worried about. I don't know. I have no idea. I was in a media bubble for. I only had internet when I was at the hotel, and I didn't bother to get an international card. Whatever. So.
Yeah.
No.
The hardest thing probably was COVID testing, right?
Yeah,
and they made all the arrangements
come
for
back
that.
in. Yeah.
Yes.
26 of us standing outside a pharmacy, nervously waiting the results.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wondering if you were going to get another 5 or 6 days of vacation.
Yeah. Right.
Didn't want it. Well, you had to stay in a hotel, and they
Right, you
say
had
like
quarantine.
you're not staying in Italy on 5 more days of your vacation. You get room service, 3 meals a day, room service. It's part of their protocol. But it was But it was the first COVID test I had in ever.
Oh, really?
I had never
Okay.
taken one here. No reason. I had never been contacted about contact tracing or sick or whatever. I wasn't against it. I just had no reason to. So the first COVID test I got was
that was lucky you.
Italia.
Yeah.
And we all tested negative. But their way, I mean, everything. We had to show our Vax card a couple times to every day to renew our lift ticket. I had to, because you got a 4-day pass. It's like a credit card, and they wouldn't give you the 4 days because you could give it to someone else to use. But you had to go to the window, show them. They call on the computer. And they had facial recognition everywhere. Like on Tuesday when we showed it, I saw my picture from Monday on the monitor. Like when you walk in to the thing, like it was weird. I don't know if they had a picture for Monday from the airport or something. I had no idea, but we had to travel with these EU locator documents, what flight in and out, what hotel,
your
Vax card, and masks everywhere. Like it was
I have
here.
to
Like
tell
you're
you
standing on the lift line, they'd be like, if you had your thing down, whatever.
No, so that's really funny. So my daughter was in London last week for work, and it was the exact opposite. There were no masks in London. It was exactly, but the only thing is, same thing. It was very nerve-wracking because she went from London, and she's in Amsterdam this week with work, and they had to have the COVID test from the time, from London to get into Amsterdam, and you worry because, she felt fine and everything, but you just never know. And obviously worse with the thought of not being able to come home, but still.
But you're in a small village in Europe is a little bit different because that's a petri dish because everybody's coming in from afar.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of roulette.
Yeah. Destination. So
yeah. So it's interesting.
Yeah. No, it's
still here.
It's amazing. Not much talk about COVID here. Not too many masks.
The war
much.
cured. The Ukraine incident cured COVID.
Right, and then just seeing New York City with the New York City news channels. They're still spending all those federal dollars that they had to. Or we're given money to push the vaccine and everything.
There's still pop-up clinics. Walk-in vax clinics all over New York and everything. So
well, hopefully we won't see another variant, and things will stay pretty.
They're saying there is another variant, BA2. I don't know.
Don't turn on
Neil
the TV.
Smoller.
Don't turn on the TV, and you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Neil
It's summer.
Smoller, do you
Summer's
know Neil?
coming.
He was posted something just
Talking
recently about it. Yeah. But so on to other happier topics, right?
Yes.
So have you been traveling? We're talking about travel.
Actually, we've been. I was in Indianapolis 3 weeks ago for 4 days on a project. Then I actually went to a conference in New Orleans last weekend. Well, 2 weekends ago, and I taught a class on creative financing techniques on Sunday. Then I found out that my wife's mom passed
excuse me, I'm sorry.
on Sunday night, so I flew back on Monday morning. So I missed the 3 days of fun at the rest of the conference in New Orleans. But
condolences to you and your family and your wife's family.
No, thank you very much.
One of Mary's mom, she's wonderful.
Yeah. One of my partners.
Oh, okay. Just so you know, we go off the air at 8:55 this morning. So.
Yeah, that's in so that you guys get a chance to go over and test the system for the Elks
next
breakfast.
Tuesday. What are you doing for breakfast? You got to swing by the Elks Lodge, 7 to 9.
Yes, 7 to 9. We're
Having
broadcasting live.
We'll be on the air live, and there's a $10 fundraiser breakfast for the Vet to Vet program.
Sounds good.
So,
I'll be there.
Swing by.
I'll be there. I'll put that on my calendar.
Yeah, that's right. Shoot down Hurley Avenue and swing on in the.
Got to have breakfast, right?
But I'm sorry to hear Mary's mom, lovely woman. I've had the pleasure of meeting her over the years, once or twice.
Appreciate that. Yep. She had a really good run, 92 years old. It's just unfortunate. Her last 2 years of life was in the nursing home, totally locked down. We were doing window visits till probably about 6 months ago. So, that was just that extra separation was really difficult. Not the way, you want the... your golden years, But, Megan, my daughter, got up there with my grandson, and all of my kids got up there within the last week before she passed, made
That's
special
important.
trips up there. So it was great. It was good. And, going back to New Orleans, when I was down there, these real estate conferences that I go to, they're really like partner meetings. There's about 80 or 90 people in the room, and I'm partners with probably 20 or 25 of them. I've got a good group of partners from Texas that are there frequently. And one of my partners, Jason Mittman, Only Epic Holdings is the name of his company. And he left for Ukraine So he went and he did a GoFundMe. They raised close to $100,000.
Wow.
And they flew out on Thursday of last week. And they're going to be in Poland pretty much indefinitely, helping with the evacuation and the
Really?
refugee
Wow.
crisis. Yeah.
Huh.
Fantastic.
So he's got
Is he Ukrainian, Mitnick?
no,
or-
he's not. No,
Oh, wow.
he's not.
He's just
Yeah,
concerned.
No, he's
human rights.
Jewish and he's very involved with the Jewish community. And he was like, my grandparents, are telling me to go.
Yeah.
Right? He's he
Gotta
goes,
help.
I hear him in the back of my head. And
That's right on, man.
They
That's
are
great.
there to help. He has commandeered and organized 5 or 6 large nonprofits that are funding them. They actually got donations from a group in Kentucky when they had the tornadoes there last year. They found like 15 or 20 pallets of the emergency blankets and other supplies.
Yeah, that's great.
They got some stuff from FEMA, and one of the organizations he's involved with actually got a UPS cargo plane commandeered. And they got all of this. They got all this stuff over there. So they're going over. There's 3 of them. He is like a extreme sports fanatic. He does these ultra marathons and is a rock climber and all this kind of stuff. So he's like, I'm ready. And
Yeah.
his his 0 degree bag, and he said, I don't know.
Purifier, I'm ready to go. Yeah.
He doesn't know what he goes. I don't know how long I'm going for or what I'm going to get
That's
into.
right on.
But we're going to be hopefully doing a FaceTime in our group today with him.
That's cool.
And
from Poland, he's
we're hoping that
wherever
he
he
can
is,
get
yeah.
internet. We've got every
to see
3 or
everything.
4 days we've got scheduled times that we're supposed to do these group calls,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
we're going to try to organize more help or resources or supplies for him. And while he was leaving, he was like, we don't know what we're going to face. He goes, if we got to buy a building over there to house people, we're going to buy a building. If we need a hospital, maybe, we're going to set a hospital up.
Fund a hospital or whatever, yeah.
So, definitely keep him in your prayers.
Yeah, absolutely,
I'm
yes.
really worried about him.
Yeah,
Definitely.
But, he's a tough guy, and,
And what is it, once again, just his name and his
His
company?
name is Jason Mittman of Only Epic Holdings. You'll see, if you see me on Facebook, I'll be sharing his stuff on there, and we'll probably be doing some more fundraising for him.
Yeah.
depending on what he comes
I
across.
saw a couple inner city police departments are doing gun buybacks, and they've worked out with the federal firearms. What is it? The federals, the feds, and they're shipping them over to
Oh, I saw that.
their
Yeah.
counterpart in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Doesn't whatever. If it shoots, they want it. So
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you're going to see
Creative-
on the news, they're going to have Saturday night specials on the street.
Yeah, sawed-off
Right, yeah.
shotguns and whatever. Hey, they're off American streets.
That's right. And
They want them, so
Well, whether you are for or against firearms in civilians' hands, that is a reason things like that will not happen here. Right? So,
Yeah.
there's probably more firearms personally or civilian held in New York State than in most European countries.
Oh, I agree that.
So
got a cabinet full.
There's a good side with the bad side. You're always going to have bad actors that are going to do the wrong
It's
thing.
not the legal gun owners aren't the problem. It's illegal gun owners.
That's right. That's right.
And the more laws you pass, it doesn't help. So it's the illegal people. You want to break the law, you're going to find a way to do it. So.
Exactly.
Very true. Very
So
true.
that's why we don't have to worry about Canada invading us.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're happy there's a long, cold
Right,
border.
they're good.
We can take that bridge out. You're stuck, buddy.
Yeah. So it's just interesting watching all of this unfold before our eyes. This is
Yes.
I hate to use the word historical, but you see
Yeah.
you see that in the news. Everything is historical now when you see in the news.
Well, yeah,
everything
when
that happens,
tanks
but-
roll across one country's border to shoot at another country, that's like, 1939, whatever,
Right.
Poland invasion or whatever,
And I know there's a lot going on behind the scenes and everything, but watching the news, to me, it's like the whole world is sitting on the sidelines watching this unfold and not really doing.
Yeah,
enough.
well, that's why I try to turn on TV in Italy. I was like, I had a down hour, and I was like,
To see what
yeah,
the
I wonder what they're
reception was
saying
there.
about. What does European media say? But I had no luck, so I was curious to see, because we're fed whatever, Lester Holt wants us to hear, or whatever, not him, but he reads it. But, we're
right.
the American media, we're fed what whoever they is, want us to hear.
Yes.
And then on the other hand, the Russian people, like, the Ukrainians have been painted as like these warmongering separatists that, hate Russia and, they're the biggest threat since NATO and all that, so the Russian people don't even really know what's, they think the man on the street might be for it, because they've been missing, the disinformation campaign, and it's a program,
It is.
It's terrible.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
And, it's just sad because you watch, these people, 60 days ago, they had, pretty much a Western lifestyle.
Yeah, completely,
And, their lives are totally turned upside down.
You see the footage, the guy looking at his balcony over the neighborhood when a bomb hits. It's like, that could be Rolling Meadows, or it could be in Ohio. It could be anywhere. The police cars look different, but the sirens sound funny. But just visually, looks like, a Western democracy, whatever.
Right. And it's a highly educated population. Also, you don't realize how many software companies, have remote offices over there. And I know one software company that I'm connected to. They have a whole development team over there, like 150 employees, and they're trying to figure out how to find out where they are. And how to get them here, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's your company talent.
Well, they're employees, they're workers and everything.
Right.
And, the anomaly here in the United States is nobody's going to the office. So we got all this office space. We might not have the housing. We still have that housing crisis. But, if we started building a hell of a lot more, we wouldn't have that crisis as much. But, that's be interesting to see, when we start getting a lot of these refugees.
A quick thing I saw this morning, people going back to work, and there's companies like forcing it and like asking municipalities. The lunch, the cost of lunch for people going back to work, and with the high inflation, it's like a lunch. They can't afford lunch anymore, so it's like.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about it on the news.
Have you been down to the city? New York City is totally lit up. It's amazing, the hustle, the bustle, everything is back and everything. But I saw on the news yesterday or the day before, New York City still has an 8% unemployment.
Yes, I saw that
And then they countered
too.
it with all of these employers they were interviewing going, where are they?
Right. We can't find them.
Applying for the jobs I need.
Right, yeah.
There's so many businesses that aren't
Kingston,
open.
everyone needs help. Everybody needs help.
Right. Yep. And
Rest-
I don't know, it's okay.
Where'd they go?
They're not looking.
Yeah,
that's for
right.
sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well,
Where'd they go?
absolutely. Where are they?
I've spoken to so many, friends of my kids and everything, and everybody's making these lateral moves, within the workforce, and these kids in their 20s and early 30s into great paying jobs. Seeing 20, 30, 50% increases. Right. So they're leaving a hole in that stepping stone type of job, and. We talk to these 20-year-olds and, mid-20s, and they're like, hey, I left this $80,000 a year job, and I'm at a $120,000 a year job now. It's like, well, why isn't there a line for that $80,000 a year job? And, they can't find it's just
right.
there's a disconnect
people
there
coming
somewhere.
out of college and
I
things.
don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, because at one point it was vice versa. Kids out of college couldn't find jobs, and the market was saturated. So what happened? And now, I don't know. These college graduates, where are they going, and what are they doing?
Like the supply chain. Where were all the truckers 2 years ago? We had plenty of supply 2 years ago, and everything seemed to get delivered. Did they just stop driving? Whatever. Same thing. There's a disconnect, a gap. I don't know where.
Yeah. No, I don't get it. And there was something on, I think it was 60 Minutes a few weeks back about these driver training, the tractor trailer driving companies, and they're packed. They've got full enrollment.
Dylan from Tony's. The heck with the restaurant business. It sucks. I'm going. He's in CD commercial driver training school right now.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what the disconnect is. I just know watching my kids are 27. It keeps changing, so it's a trick question.
They're getting older and older.
28 to 32. And, watching them go through the process coming out of school, and all of their friends around them, and their friends, whether they went to college or not, tell you, all these kids have great jobs.
They do.
And
I agree.
If they really were out there looking, and, if they went to college and had a real major that was headed towards a career path, then they, are gainfully employed. So,
And these are the kids, because my children are the same age, these are the kids that when they first came out of college, it was really hard for them. It was difficult to find jobs. The market was saturated. It was very hard. And now it's just the opposite. So, they knew what it was to battle and to get that first job. And,
I think at that level, the high school level, a lot's got to change. They've really got to start with internships at the high school level. Typically you go, you're out of high school a couple of years and then you get those internships, or, in college age or just out of school, now they need to start doing that in high school.
Well, yeah, the post-COVID, so many of my friends, the last 2 years of my son's high school were terrible. And, so many of his friends, they don't, they're in college, they don't have no idea what they want to do, just because the disruption of the last 2 years, there's going to be a blip, moving forward. It's terrible.
Well, and I think for a lot of kids too, there was a little extra sheltering that they.
Sure. Exactly.
Home with mom and dad, they got comfortable again, and as opposed to being out on their own and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, figuring out working, finding that after school job or whatever. Right. It didn't occur to it was just like a standstill for 2 years. And at 15, 16, 17, 18, 14, 13, those are crazy formative years. So
that's a good point that you brought up earlier, Paul, about lateral moves. I think that during the COVID era that we went through in the last 2 years, a lot of people rethought their career paths, and that has a lot to do with the fact that we have a lack of employment in certain areas.
Yeah, well, a lot of kids were told, oh, this is great, this is what you should do. And then they realized, I was an accounting major freshman year in college. And then I came home after that, and my father was like, hey, you're going to go work in Joe Koenig, the accountant's office, this summer.
Yeah, right.
I was there for 4 or 5 days, and then I went home, and I was like, Dad, I'm not going back to school. That's what I'm going to school for.
Yeah. Very true.
All right, so we got to go. We have to go test the thing while we have airtime. So
okay.
All right, we will. Thanks everybody. Terrific Tuesday.
Yeah.
See you next Tuesday for breakfast.
Yes, see you next
All
Tuesday.
right.
Come
Thank
to
you,
breakfast. All righty.
Thank you, Nina Poshtapak, Cameron Rylance, and a very, very special thanks to Paul Hakim and Pioneer Realty with current events, and Ursula and Marjorie from Kingston Library with events and programs coming up at the Kingston Library, and Lorraine Salmon from Ulster County, SUNY Ulster County, with the scholarship programs that are there. And thank you for being with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, WGHQ, and our live streaming on mykcr.org. This last portion of Kingston Community Radio was brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and our community with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park. Also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. We invite you to be with us for a terrific, let me back up. We invite you to be with us for a Super Wednesday tomorrow morning, and that is from 7 to 9 a.m. every weekday. So until tomorrow, we wish you every success in growing and developing Kingston and all our neighboring communities. We now return you to Magic 92.5.